Okay, let's have a chat. Now, this post with this particular picture was put up in a prepping group not that long ago, this morning I think. It's beautiful, okay, but for most people it's unrealistic. It's very unrealistic. A lot of people I know would look at that and go, I can't possibly do that. Now, in the post, the lady who posted the picture says that she's been at this for 36 years. And every now and again, you guys get a glimpse of what I do. It's taken me 8 years to get that from scratch, right? Her particular pantry, judging by the size of her shelves and her jars, is the size of our living room. Yeah. And although that's the goal, for many people, it's not very realistic. Especially for those who are just starting out or who have limited budget. Like, you might be on benefits, you might be on disability payments. For whatever reason, you know, you might be working 60 hours a week and still be on universal credit, you know, but that's neither here nor there. The point is, pictures like this tend to have sometimes they can be motivational, but also sometimes they can be demotivational. And I want you guys to realise that this is the end goal, not the beginning. Now, I know a lot of us like to jump in boots first and start everything and do all the things and have all of the things and blah, 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 blah. But it's not always going to happen that way. And you're going to have to be really careful and very, you know, you're going to have to think about it and organise and plan. Now, one of the places that I've got a lot of jars over the years has been Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, especially the really big jars. It's also where I've managed to pick up stock pots. Car boot sales is where I've managed to get quite a few little stock pots, you know, or bigger ones. You know, my really, really big one got left behind at the old place. I was not happy about that at all. But, you know, Tanny in his travels, he goes to see other, you know, restaurants and stuff, and sometimes they're getting rid of things that they can't use because it might have a spot of rust or something on it, but we can use it. So he picks it up and brings it home. He asks first. I even got a commercial processor because they were chucking it out and upgrading. So, oh, thank you very much. Am I using it often? No. No, I'm not. Why? Because that's a special occasion thing. That's for doing big jobs. And I also have to get a couple of blades for it. I mean, it's got the knife blade, but it doesn't have the graty blade. And the graty blade is the one that I would use a lot. Let's be honest, I would use that one a lot. So, you know, especially if I was doing really big things, it would come in very, very handy for that. But those blades are worth over 100 quid a pop. They are not cheap. They are not cheap. So, you know, you got to plan for these things. So although the processor was free, I am going to have to fork out for the spindle in the middle to put the blade on, and the blade, which, you know, that's between the two of them is about a third of my monthly income. It's not cheap. Okay, now what I also do is I save up my pennies, and twice a year I will buy 100 jars of the size that I want, and it doesn't matter, you know, what they are, but I will save up over 6 months and I will buy brand new jars with brand new lids, and that is what I will do, and it slowly builds up our supply. This year I've bought over 200 Well, I got 100 500ml ones and 100 600ml ones. Yeah, I've used all them. And before that, I bought 100 of the 250ml, or the half pints, and yeah, I've used all them. Yeah, so that's 300 jars I've already used. You know, and that's cost me a good 400 quid just for them. Now that's not even looking at those massive jars, or the gallon jars, or the 6 pound jars, or whatever you want to call them, or the 2 litre jars, which, you know, you're sitting there looking at this picture going, oh, well, how big are those ones with the eggs in? Well, I'll tell you, they are 3 to 4 litres. They're 3 to 4 litres. That really, really big one, that's a 5 litre jar. That thing will set you back at least 30 quid. That is a lot of money for one jar. You know? It's a lot of money. And the shelving over here, the equivalent shelving, because I bought the smaller one. So the smaller one was 40 quid a pop for each one. Yeah, we don't use it anymore. It's gone in the greenhouse because it's not that stable. You know, the bigger ones probably are. But also the ones that we have now, they're hardware. From like the hardware store kind of thing. And they have no screws, no brackets. It's just a slot in system, which is really useful if you don't have screwdrivers. Or any tools when you're setting up. But what I will say is this: spend a little bit of extra and get yourself some 5mm ply or MDF to put on the shelves, because the ply you get, or the board you get, is not very strong. It's only a couple of mil thick, and to stop, because the jars get weighty. Jars get real weighty, you know. So you want to make sure that doesn't bend to the point where it snaps. And although there's a thing in the middle to, you know, help it stay upright. Don't ask me about technical names for things. I'm not very good at that before I have my coffee. It's really important to just chill, okay? This whole thing, please just chill. Especially here in the UK, alright? If you're just starting out, start out doing things like your pickles, alright? Start doing pickles. Things like pickled onions. If you guys do pickled eggs, do pickled eggs. You do your pickled cucumbers if that's what you want to do. Start out learning how to do the basics and then move into the more complicated things. Get yourself used to starting to do things, you know. You go in boots and all and things start failing on you left, right and centre. It's going to put you off doing anything more. So learning one skill or getting used to one skill before you do anything else is probably your best option. So when I first started out, I was only allowed to do pickled onions. That's all I was allowed to do. I was only allowed to do pickled onions. And then, you know, that was pretty much that. And then I learned how to do 3 or 4 different ways of doing pickled onions. And then as I got older, I've been able to expand on that a little bit further. But, you know, you start with the basics. It's like anything, you know. When a baby's starting to learn to move, what do first? They roll over. Then what do they learn to do? They sit up. And then what do? They start crawling. I mean, they might start going backwards. I mean, one of my kids started going backwards. That was a bit clever. It should have been really a sign of things to come, but, you know. But he started going backwards everywhere. He didn't care. He knew where he's going. He'd just do it backwards. You know? But then they start to get themselves up, and then they get themselves they get momentum, and then off they go. But they do it step by step. Now, you don't tell a baby off because they're not doing it the way you want them to do it, because they're doing it in their time. So what makes it different when it's you learning how to do something? Okay? There's a lot of problems I see at the moment, and a lot of it's to do with social media and people showing what they've been doing for like 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Good for you. Wonderful. Fabulous. And it's taken you a lot of time and a lot of money. And that room there is thousands. That's thousands of dollars worth of storage equipment right in that room. And the majority of us just don't have that sort of money to spend. So I want you to start thinking about what you can do, what you can afford to put away, where you can get your jars. A lot of my jars I just saved up from when we bought things in jars. Same as the lids. And you can buy new lids if you want to, because sometimes those jar lids you can't always reuse them because they've, got a bit bent or whatever. I mean, they're still good for pickles. They're just not good for, longer term stuff. But you can get new lids and you can order those. eBay is a great place to go and get your lids. Just measure your lid. Order what you need. Get a couple of dozen while you're doing it. So then you've got a couple of dozen of that size lid for later on. Thing is, I don't want people to fail before they start. I don't want people to fail before they start. I want them to feel confident in what they're doing. Okay, so I'm going to be shortly running a series of workshops online. Okay. I will be doing this online, and we will be able to do things like bottling and water bathing and doing all of that kind of stuff together online. Now, if you would rather be in person, there are 4 spots. 4. Why are there only 4 spots, Blue? Because that's how many people I can fit inside my house. Okay. Now, this will be run once a month. It is not going to be done any other sooner. Okay. It will be up to if you are going to be here in my house, it's going to have to be paid for upfront. If you are going to be doing the online one, pay it as you need to. Okay. And it's going to be a lot cheaper, obviously. It's like 10 quid a month. And out of that, you can follow along because we're going to be doing it in real time. Real time is what we're going to be doing it all in. So, it's something that you need to be watching if this is what you want to do. Okay. But it will help you to get a step up. It will help you to be a little bit more confident in what you can do. Okay, so for the first couple of months we're going to be looking at pickling and bottling. Okay, then in the next 3 months we're going to be looking at very basic water bathing, and we'll probably do other things, maybe some juicing and stuff like that. The next 3 months we're going to be looking at intermediate or middle range skills in water bathing and pickling, etc., and looking at more elaborate kind of stuff. And then the last 3 months we're going to be looking at water bathing over a fire pit. Okay, because in the pinch, if you don't have the gas, you don't have the electric, but you can source firewood and charcoal, then you can still water bath outside over a fire pit. Okay, but we're going to do that. So if you want to be here in my home, that's going to be a lot different than if you are online, but we will make it so that everyone can take part. Okay, but just be aware. Now those things will be put up on the website on the 1st of October, so you're going to have to look for those on the 1st of October because they're not available right now, but I'm just giving you a heads up. Okay, so keep an eye out. 1st of October I'm going to start putting those things up, and we're going to start together in January. Okay, in January, yeah, we are. Now if you are doing the online version, you will be able to jump in. Okay, you will be able to jump in. However, I would suggest to you putting aside that tenner and making sure that you can be there for every one of the course in the year. Okay, the reason being that there will be a lot there that you will have missed if you come in halfway through, and then you'll be asking questions like we've already covered, which can take up a lot of time, and those kinds of questions will be left till the end. Okay, the only questions that will be answered during the session will be those that are time sensitive to what we are doing right in that moment. Okay, so what do you get apart from my attention for a 6-hour day? And yeah, it's a 6 to 8 hour day. It's an 8 hour day, let's be honest. It is quite a long day, right? You get my personal attention for that day. You also get a PDF of this, and now if you are here you will get a printout of this, and it will be the updated version because there was a little bit of tweaking that needed to be done on this. There will also be 2 others, 4 others that you will get of these as well. Alright, that will cover pickling, bottling, fermenting, and the intermediate stuff and the advanced stuff on the fire pit. Okay, so that is what you will get for your monies. Okay, and yeah, so there you go. And we will be starting in January, but you will have to book before then. You will absolutely have to book before then. Right now though, I'm gonna go, but just know that it's not out of reach. You just got to start small, okay? And you got this. You got this. You can do this. What the hell, man? I've seen you do bigger things. Hey, you get out of bed every morning. I don't do that. But you get out of bed every morning and you get up and you go and do your job that you really, really hate. You absolutely hate it, and you do it. Why? Because you have to. And you do the bigger things. This is just a little thing. In the grand scheme of things, it's just a little thing. But they're important skills, and if you want them, they're available. And yeah, look out for the thing on the website, the booking forms on the website on the 1st of October. I will see you again very, very soon.